$10,000 grants of at least $1,000, federal grants of up to $2 million for everyone are available. The deadlines are approaching. Some viewers are getting funded. Let's get right to it. As some of you may already know, have been watching my previous videos where I show you my spreadsheet where I list links to information resources and application portals for grants for everyone, some of the most accessible grants on the planet. You know that there is a deadline for this NAV business grant contest that I've been telling you about for the past few months. If you would have started your business back then, you would have qualified for this. And when I say, if you would have started your business, don't click the back button because all you have to do is sell something. I've told you time and time again that it's as simple as me taking those Bob Ross bobblehead dolls that I've showed you multiple times and putting them up for sale on eBay. They're already appreciating. They're already like $20 a piece. I bought them for $6.99 at the Marshalls over in Elmont. Go hop on some if you can find them. You got the NAV's Small Business Grant, okay? And remember, if you solely operate your business, you are what the Small Business Administration refers to as a non-employer firm, which constitutes the whopping majority of all small businesses. Small businesses constitute 99.9% of all businesses in the United States, employing 60.6 million U.S. workers, half of the United States workforce. Therefore, get in the game, ladies and gentlemen. NAV Small Business Grant. These grants are unlike the grant qualifications for the Paycheck Protection Program or the Economic Injury Disaster Loan where you had to be in business in February of 2019. You could start your business right now and still qualify for this thing. I want to show you this one first because the deadline is approaching. March 8th is the deadline for this round. And all you have to do is simply write the story on your business. Remember, a good story always constitutes the hero. The hero is lamping. He's doing his thing. He's at the top of his game. And then he encounters a problem. That hero has to become better than him or herself in order to resolve that problem. And the solution comes, that's the climax and everything. You wrap it up. That's all your story has to constitute. What problem have you encountered? I know there is no shortage of people who have encountered a number of problems, especially in 2020. Pandemic, health, economic crisis, you name it. Go ahead and write your story. How do you resolve one of those issues? Selling something. And listen, a number of people, I read somewhere where someone was writing, it's sad where you have to be in a world where everybody's trying to sell you things, sell things to their friends and their family. Listen, it has nothing about that. You don't sell products and services to your friends and family. You sell products and services to the people who need them, your target market. Just like these videos. I don't care if my family watches them, if it's not relevant to them, if they're looking for grants, then of course, yeah, absolutely. But I only produce products and services for people who need them. Just like the Wolf of Wall Street said, I'm not sure if he said it in the movie or he said it in his book, where he asked somebody to sell something, to sell the pen, and first thing that the expert salesperson stated was like, how long you been in the market for a pen? When the person said no, bing, threw the pen right on the floor. I don't waste my time. Amateurs do that kind of stuff. You don't waste your time with people who are not looking or need the product that you are selling. And it's very simple. As I said, you could take used items in your home and go ahead and flip them on eBay, or go hit yard sales, pay a penny on the dollar for things, right? For things that are memorabilia or that cause people nostalgia because it's from the 80s. My Buddy, Garbage Pail Kid cards, I don't know. You can go ahead and flip that on eBay for 10 times the price and start off with the stuff that you have in your home. And that's just thinking about it from the most simple viewpoint from which you could actually think of starting a business, okay? Because there's other things you could do anything you want, especially in this country. This is the mecca of capitalism. You don't want to be in a position where you have to depend on the government, depend on anything. Go ahead, hold your own. And the best way to do that, the ultimate equalizer, is starting your small business, which is simply defined as getting into the activity of selling something. Okay, look, there's no requirement here where you had to be in business for 6-7 months, or you had to be in business in 2019, 2018, for a year, etc. These are the only things right here, look. what your business, look, you post what your business does, a challenge your business has overcome in the past and challenge you continue to struggle with, how the grant funds will help you overcome your challenge, detail specifics about how you plan to use the prize money. Remember, think about what are the challenges that you face trying to sell something, try to survive. And everybody's in business. Even if you don't decide to officially start a small business, even if you work for a company, you have sold your services to that organization. The difference is that with a business, you've sold your product and services to multiple people or multiple entities. There's the FedEx grant for 50 grand. I think you do have to be in business 6 months in order to qualify to apply for this particular grant. Here goes the rules. Here's a sample of what somebody wrote in regards for their entry to potentially win this grant. Now, this is the American Seed Fund that provides grants of up to $2 million. This is federal funding right here for your technically risky yet innovative idea. Programs such as the Internet, Doppler, radar, tissue generation have all been funded through the American Seed Fund. It's powered by the National Science Foundation, and they're open. They just closed one of their rounds yesterday on March 4th, and they've opened up the round again. Again, you have to have an innovative idea. Yet you do not have to have a business in order to submit the first pitch. You simply have to have that innovative idea right here where we submit your project pitch. I'm not going to get into all the details because all the information is right on this website. And I've listed a link to that website. I've entered it into the spreadsheet that you can find at bit.ly/bizss21, where you'll find all the information you need in order to submit your pitch. And one person has told me that they did submit their pitch, and the federal government, this agency, the National Science Foundation, has invited them to submit a proposal. So once you get into the proposal process, then you have to go ahead and incorporate your business, and you have to apply for your employer identification number, which if you go back to my spreadsheet, I have resources on how to do that. As easy as pie. Pumpkin pie to be exact. Well, as easy as the 3-hour drive from my crib out in Howard Beach to go ahead and hop on that pumpkin pie, the best pumpkin pie on the planet, on Mecox Farms. Anyway, right here, Zen Business. They'll go ahead and file your LLC for you, take care of all the paperwork, all the bureaucracy. They even have a registered agent for you, right? And I spoke about this on a previous video on how to start your LLC, where I discuss the benefits of filing an LLC in Delaware and different states, etc. They break down everything. It's fast filing speed. Look, $49 for a year. When I started my small business, did everything by myself. I spent a little over $100 to start my business. Applying for an employer identification number is free through the IRS. You don't have to have people charge you for that. However, this business, they'll do that for you. Look, apply for your IRS. So it's not complex. I'll just go ahead and tell you about what you have in front of you right now. Education resources, free education resources from some of the most noteworthy institutions on the planet. Look, Google Workspace. This is what I do with my business, search engine optimization, helping companies configure their websites so they can stand the best chance of appearing for queries or searches of targeted keywords. So if you sell tires, I am the person that you call to go ahead and configure your website so you can appear for tires in Ohio or in Virginia or wherever it is that your business is located, so people that are looking for your services can go ahead and find you, give you a call, and you stand the best chance of landing them as a client. So there's the search engine optimization starter guide. Reddit has a great forum where they discuss how to be a search engine optimization marketer. Google Ads. I actually made my bones doing Google Ads. So they've got like a whole certification program with the AdWords Center with Google Ads, where you can learn how to, as opposed to you configuring a website, you could basically bid on keywords. So you want to appear for radial tires in Virginia or in California, then you basically pay in order to appear at the top results. So you could do that. You could do that for other businesses, and you got a product or service. Or you can hit a website such as Upwork. And if you're selling websites for like $800, you could have somebody from another country build that website for you for $200. You're making 4x your investment. Come on, man. This is simple stuff. Simple stuff. So you could apply for the National Science Foundation. It's grants of up to $2 million, man. I think I'm going to go for it and show you exactly how I do it. At least submit the pitch just so you can see how it's done, because if you can get that, that's crazy. I mean, you got to brainstorm and come up with something very innovative, and it could be as technically risky as possible. They provide an initial grant of up to $256,000 initially just to get you started for the first year, I believe. And these are people that have won some of the grants that I've listed. Mainly, probably our most favorite grant on the platform, the Small Business Relief Initiative from GoFundMe. Basically, you launch a fundraising campaign on GoFundMe, and GoFundMe will match up to $500 of the money that you raise from 5 different people. Okay, so basically it becomes a grant of at least $1,000. And what's great about this grant is that it puts you in the practice of selling something. Now, it doesn't mean you have to beg people for money, no. Because you need to understand this. If you start a small business, first, you are relieving the government of having to provide for you or for the people for whom you are responsible, because now you are a small business. Now you are generating revenue that's helping feed and save your families, or perhaps even at a lesser extent, right? Because you may find, listen, it's more productive and more profitable for me to work on my small business as opposed to stand on the welfare line or food stamp line waiting for handouts from the federal government. So they're like, cool, that's why it's so easy for you to start a small business in this country. I don't know how easy it is elsewhere, but it's very easy over here. And there's endless benefits, tax deductions. You can basically lower your taxable income. I mean, if you would have been in business, you would have started this a couple of years ago, you qualify for grants. As I told you, I'm basically qualifying for grants of $41,000 of the Paycheck Protection Program, loan/grant. It becomes a grant as long as I use it on approved expenses. So this small business initiative, there's people, organizations getting grants of over $50,000 through this thing right here, okay? So again, you don't have to beg people, because all you have to explain is how your business is contributing towards the greater good. How is it helping change the world? How is it? And every business does change the world, because you're providing a product or service, you're facilitating something for somebody. If you have a restaurant and people can't cook for themselves because they're working all day, that's what happens to me at times with the family, right? They're providing a service that is enhancing my life because I can work more on my business, generate more revenue, and plus you are channeling more money into the economy. So there's all kinds of ways. You just have to think, even if you start an eBay business, again, you're generating revenue, you're providing services or products rather through eBay, when I'm addressing that example most specifically in particular. You're providing products that people can't find elsewhere, something that you don't use anymore in your home, and you're generating revenue. Yeah, you use that revenue, go ahead, buy something else. That's the way the economy works. That's why this is the strongest country on the planet. The most epic democratic experiment, capitalist experiment known to man. Check it out. My man Send Captures. He nailed this grant right here. They gave him $500, and his grant totaled more than, $1,300? There's another guy. Yeah, Send Captures. $1,300 he raised. I broke my man off with 100 real quick. Anthony Carmichael, he also got this grant with a totaling figure with a sum of $1,285. Again, major shout out to my man Anthony Nolitsky. She also scored this grant, over $1,200. And again, there are no requirements in terms of you having to produce any documentation that you've been generating revenue, no bank statements, nothing. You simply have to have your story, and you have to include this hashtag. Hashtag means that you simply have to write this word with the pound symbol or the hash symbol right here. See, so hashtag small business relief. When you write, you start the GoFundMe, get 5 people to donate $500, and they'll match that $500. There's organizations, I don't have the links in front of me right now, but you go ahead, take a look through the FAQs and you'll find it. There's organizations that are raising over 50 grand through this thing. This is the Chick-fil-A True Inspiration Awards. Black-led businesses that are serving communities of color. I was looking for a job years ago, probably over 20 years ago. They had an office in a studio apartment, and they had just started like a job search agency, an employment agency. And they were just getting referrals, they were getting people. I mean, HR departments, human resources departments, they need as much help as they can in order to seek talent. So if you have a employment agency that focuses on people that have been suffering from the opioid epidemic, they're addicts or whatever, and you're helping them get back into the workforce in Maryland, look, there's grant opportunities available for you if you're in Maryland, right? And then for Oregon, we've got grants for veterans. I've got a full sheet on my spreadsheet linking to information resources and application portals, to grant programs and other programs for veterans. This thing has everything over here. That's why I say grants for everyone. I even have some stuff, look, for your students right here. Take a look. A grant of up to $7,100. I've got my son working on his grades, sharpening up his game for this thing right here. And my little nephew, he's doing it too. I think they already started the process. He's older, he's in 12th grade. $3,100 for your high school student. When I say grants for everyone, I mean grants for everyone. I walk that talk, baby. And look, now I've got a cryptocurrency section. Take a look. So it's small right now because I'm just starting to learn this stuff myself. You're going to have to do a lot of the due diligence in order to learn what to do with this, but there's a lot of opportunity. And you've got to learn this one way or the other. You see Bitcoin, cracking 50,000 and coming back down, going back up. There's all kinds of other coins, other forms of currency called altcoins that there's some possibilities where you could deposit $500, it could turn into 10 grand, man. So listen, if your organization, and listen, your organization could be just you. Again, you'll be a non-employer firm, right? If your organization supports Bitcoin development, open source wallets, privacy education, and internships, you learn this stuff, right? And you basically teach it to other people. Or if you know how to program and you develop some type of software that integrates with the use of cryptocurrency, that increases adoption, whatever it is that you're doing. Privacy advocate Janine Rome will receive a gift of $10,000 in Bitcoin. She got $10,000 in Bitcoin for simply having a newsletter on privacy, right? This is her right here. Janine Rome. It's just a newsletter. She has no program. I don't know if she has programming skills. Maybe she does. She's a voluntarist, a cypherpunk, journalist, wanderess. She simply, she retweets stuff on this. She has a newsletter. She informs people, tells people about the most latest developments involving cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, etc. See this? And look, she got a $10,000 grant for doing this stuff. And the great thing about this cryptocurrency, this is like search engine optimization like in 2009 maybe, right? Where there was some adoption, but not total widespread adoption. You're starting to see in the mainstream, so perhaps a little more saturated, but not as much. When I got into search engine optimization, when relative to the world's population, there were a handful of people that were doing search engine optimization, that were doing Google Ads, online advertising. So it's very easy. After me simply learning how to generate $300 a week through sales of affiliate memberships. In other words, I was selling memberships to these platforms that they would send you regular opportunities in order to fill out surveys and stuff. So I was selling memberships to that. And I was just making money. Like I would set up the ad campaigns and then money would be deposited into my bank. I was like, wow, this is the most awesome thing ever. Through the knowledge that I picked up by doing that, one of my first consulting gigs was working with the Trump organization. Before he got into the politics, like in 2008, I helped him raise, him and the organization and the other organizations that partnered with him raise over $200,000 for Harlem Charities. Well, actually, that was the second engagement with the Trump organization. First one was the Trump Think Big Expo. It was like in 2007, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Helped them register over 11,000 people. We're hyping people up on real estate and everything, just off the knowledge that I got off of learning how to generate a few bucks off of search engine optimization and marketing through Google advertising. So look, blockchains. So basically, if you want to apply, you got to submit a proposal for funding. You go ahead and email dev.fund@hrf.org. And you're going to have to learn this stuff sooner or later. You see how the coverage is so widespread in regards to what's happening and the thing is, the dollar keeps on devaluing, especially with all the stimulus coming. I know a number of you watch all these stimulus channels. The more stimulus that gets passed, the more money that gets printed. Therefore, the dollar's value keeps dropping, because that's the secret. That's why Bitcoin, all these cryptocurrencies, that's why they increase in value, because there's only a limited supply of each coin. Whereas you keep on pumping dollars, if there's, a billion of these things would probably go for like a penny or whatever, right? Understand? So it's all supply and demand. The more there is of something, the cheaper it is. So the more dollars there are in circulation, the cheaper it's going to be. The more that asset classes such as Bitcoin and cryptocurrency are going to get more expensive. You got to learn this stuff. And I've got a class where you can learn it, by the way. Just go ahead, hit the crypto tab. I mean, I'm telling you, man. And what, that's not a grand opportunity right here? Look, free classes, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, right? With Berkeley X, blockchain fundamentals, right? Fintech and all this other stuff. Blockchain, understanding its uses and implications. Look at this, right here. All these free classes right here. Free classes, look, starts March 9th, right here. Free. Add a verified certificate for $149. You don't need a certificate for this stuff unless you're trying to get a job in this space, and that could help you. And this is grants on Gitcoin, where you can hold your own fundraiser. Ideally, you want to set up a fundraiser where you're somehow helping people use cryptocurrency, basically help the movement of ensuring that there's more widespread adoption, just basically developing something, doing whatever it is, building something that is helping the cryptocurrency ecosystem. Right? And just go ahead and read through this stuff. There's a lot of information here. If you want more information on this stuff, feel free to drop those comments and requests in the comment section below. Here's the About page. And the beauty of this thing, that if your fundraising campaign gets democratically supported, the more that it gets democratically supported, the more that they match the funds that people donate to you. A $1 donation could equate to a $300 match. So basically someone donates $1 and you could potentially get $300. The About section on Gitcoin will give you all the information you need in order to launch your campaign on Gitcoin. Right here, what is the scope of Gitcoin grants? Why should I contribute? Here are the rounds of funding where you can take matching contributions. So what I just mentioned, someone donates $1 and you could potentially get a $300 match for each dollar donation. I see a grant I don't like. What do I do? How to flag it? This gives you all the information right here. It's all available to you. I saw one deal over here where even if you donated something, you got money back. You donated $1, they gave you back like 20. Crazy. It's crazy. All these opportunities out here. Remember, the difference between someone that's successful and someone that's struggling is information. The absorption of that information, you learning it, and the proper execution. Talk soon.